Hello everybody, Miss Jackie Russell here and welcome to my channel. And today is February 2nd and I'm going to show you my makeup look. I've been doing this once a month. I just kind of put a collage of the things that I'm wearing. And then you can see what I've used and see if it's something that you're interested in. And also just so if you've been wondering what's on my eyes during some of my videos, because I used to tell you, but I kind of got away from that. I thought this was a fun way to do it. So this will be a collage of February looks, and it'll come out sometime in March. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you will consider subscribing and being a part of my YouTube family. I do some beauty, I do some unboxings, I do TEMU hauls, Dollar Tree hauls, collaborations, and a little bit of health stuff here and there, and I do product reviews. I do have products sent to me for review, and I give you an honest review of what I think of it, and of course I unbox it right in front of you so we kind of go through it together. And if there's something I need to try out, like I'm trying out Optimizers health vitamins, then I show it, but then I come back and tell you what I think. But today it's about beauty, and what I have on my eyes is I use my Too Faced Better Than Chocolate palette. Now I just got this from Macy's not too long ago, and it's a very beautiful palette. And in the comments after I had showed all this, Myrna Bledsoe told me this smells like chocolate. And guess what? It does. I was so shocked. I told her, well, now this is so funny. I'm on comments and I go, oh my gosh, hold on. I'm going to go smell it. I left my computer, ran into my bathroom, grabbed my palette, smelled it, and went, oh my goodness, it does smell like it. So thanks, Myrna, for letting me know that. But what did I use on my palette today? And I hope I can do this without blinding you guys. It's wanting to fall over. But I started off with this white that's over here. Oh, I am blinding you. Maybe this will help a little bit. I started, of course this gold on here is bright too, but I started off with the white as a base all over. And then I used some of, there was a champagne color I used. So I must have went way over, well maybe the one next to it. Let me see here. Nope. Then I went over and used some of this, and I put it on my lid. On top of my lid, I put some of this purple, and I put some of this blue. But now, I don't know that I can see the purples and the blues. I didn't think that these two were very pigmented, in my opinion, okay? I then used this brown in my corners, and I tried to put, is this purple? It looks purple, sometimes looks blue on there. But anyways, I put that. I put some of this matte pink over here on my lid as well. So technically, I kind of grazed through this thing, and I put this and that up here for highlighter. I put a little gold up there. I put a little gold in between. And so I kind of hodgepodged all over this thing because, like I told you, some of the colors, in my opinion, weren't strong enough or pigmented or however you want to say that, in my opinion, but I still got a look out of it. I would have wanted more color on my lids with the purple and that pink. I would expect more out of it. But anyways, I got my eyeliner out and I used a PRIMELASH eyeliner. For this one, it was a navy color that I used. Very pretty, just glides right on, and Prime has a great product. They have lots of good products. If you're interested, I am an affiliate, and you can save 15% on their products with my code, Miss Jackie Russell. And this, I used Estee Lauder, the Brow Multitasker for brunette. That's the color that I used on my brow. And then my mascara, I used the MAC Stack. This is really becoming one of my favorite mascaras. It just lengthens my eyebrows really good. It really lengthens my lashes really good. And There's several that do that, and this is just one of them that I found that I liked. For my cheeks, I've got Pat McGrath on today, which this is that peachy color, which he calls Divine Orchid. But yeah, I've used a lot of it. I'm on pan. This is probably my favorite blush. I probably use this more than any of the others. And then I have my liner, which is really way down, and I never remember the brand name of this one, but it's one of my favorite liners, and it's just eluding me the name of it right now. There's that CC, I want to say it might be Charmancy, but I can't remember what that CC stands for. So I know some of y'all know, but I like it. It glides on really good. Then I put on Jeffree Star's Liquid Lip Balm, and that's what I have on over that. And then I did put on, and I didn't bring it in here, but I did put some Buxom Plumper over it. And I did bring in my red MAC that I like, because I thought I might go over this just to add a little bit more red pigment into the color. But that's my look, and this is what we're starting off with for February. And I guess you could say it's kind of it's a natural look, but it's highly deepened in the corners of my eyes, and I do like that. And I always bring my eyeliner up, as you can see, so that I can get my eyes lifted up, and that's the purpose of that. And you can see those colors on there. I just thought that they would pop out more, but they pop out okay. And I didn't do any like highlighting inside my inner eyes like I usually do. So I did it a little bit different today, but I wanted to show y'all the Too Faced palette and my use of it the first time, and then what I thought about it. But now the next looks are going to be different palettes, different days, and I don't know exactly when this video is going to come out. But I want to say thank you for being here, and let's go on to the next look. Hello everybody, I'm back, and we have another look today. Today I have on Estee Lauder's Glam Pack from probably 2021's Blockbuster. And I've added a little bit of purple from the Arthur palette. I think it's Aether palette. So we're going to go over what I have. I don't know how you liked the previous look, but we are moving on. And into this next one today is February 4th. And it just happens to be my Jack Russell's or Parson Russell's birthday today, Courage. Spud's Courage. He is 14 years old today, and a great Parson Russell. He has sired many. But anyways, I use this Glam Pack, and it really doesn't tell me the colors on here. What it does is it gives eyeshadow numbers, but it doesn't really tell me what they are. But it is a Pure Color Envy eyeshadow palette, and it was the Glam palette that was in that. It was a cute little palette, had a little bow tie on it, and of course it says Estee Lauder Glam on the inside. But anyways, I used the two pinks as a base all over, and then I used some of this light purple in the inner eyes. I used this really dark purple over here in my corners, and I put on a little bit of this blue right here, but you may not can tell, but there's some blue in there. And I also put some of this on top, so I've got like the pink and that kind of grayish purple there. So I use just about every color, and I do sometimes use a brown, which I did when I go inside my crease just to kind of tone it a little bit. I don't know if that's what you call it, but that's what I call it. And then I use the Aether palette, which I love this palette. This is a great palette. And I just used the purple over here on top just to kind of give it a little sheen and let's see, I might have used a little bit of that purple in the crease just to bring out a little bit more purple. This is, in my opinion, pigmented better with the purples than my Estee Lauder, which I was surprised. But that just seemed the way it worked out. And then for my eyeliner, I found one of my favorite eyeliners, which I don't know if it was really lost. It was in with my liners, but it's so short. I hadn't seen it in a while. And this color, I don't know if they make it anymore, but it's Night Diamond. And I really like this color. It's not really black. It's not charcoal. It's kind of like brownish charcoal. I don't know, but I like it. So I used that. And then I also used a MAC eyeliner for the insides of my eyes to brighten it up on each side. And as y'all can tell, I do half and half. So I went half light, and then I do the darker in the middle out. And then I did use that color, Night Diamond, to bring up my eyes with my little wings that I do. So I did that. And then I also found that I had a Tarte mascara, and I used it, and I wasn't sure if it was getting dried out. So, because see, it doesn't look like anything's on there. So I think I might have already used that up. So because of that, I'll need to retire that out. And I got my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and this looks like this. And I like this mascara. It does have a funny, I don't know, looking brush. It's like wider on the outside, thinner on the inside. So it's like, I don't know, wider on the inside and more skinny on the inside. I don't know, it's a little bit different. I like it, it's okay. It performs fine, but anyways, I used that, and I think I got that from FabFitFun. And then, let's see here, for my blush, I got my palette that came with that particular, see how they match up. It was either 2021 or 2022. And then this here is the blush and highlight and contour. So I used all of that. I've got the blush on my cheeks. I put the highlighter over the top of that, and then I did all my contouring with this color underneath my chin, a little underneath the blush, and then across here and down my nose. So, and I like those colors, and they match up really well with everything. And of course I used my Estee Lauder foundation, and I did use one of my Korean beauty products that I got out of my Stylevana advent calendar. This is Skin Food is the name of the company, and it just says it's peach cotton multifacial powder, and I like it. It's really light and it covers good, and I use it to put over my face after my foundation, and then before I use the Estee Lauder eye concealer. So I do have concealer underneath all of this, and I do have on Estee Lauder Futuristic primer. It's a water-based primer, so I have that on. I forgot to bring that in here. I always try to get everything in here, and then I still forget something. And I use my BBB Billion Dollar Brow Pencil, which I like this. It's a universal color. It's the last one I had. I had stocked up on them. And then it came to my lips, and I used an Appeal gel liner, and don't know if it tells me what color it is. Sometimes these don't tell you a color. Gives you the ingredients. It just says it's Next Level. But it's kind of a rosy color, and I like that. And then I got my MAC. This is that frosted lipstick, and it's in Regal Red, and I really like this color. It's becoming a quick favorite. And I got that from Macy's, and I like the packaging too. It's very pretty. And then to top it off, I use my Buxom, and this here is in one of their new colors called Plush Peach over the top of that. So that's my look today. And then I finished it off with Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray. So, what do you think? Let me get a little closer so you can see, and I always do have a little fallout. I'm not real good about not having fallout, but I just look at it as a little bit of extra shine around my eyes. Because when I look at it from here to there, it doesn't look like it's got fallout. But when you get closer, you can see it. But that's my look today. Let me know what you think about this. Like I said, it was my Estee Lauder Glam palette and a little bit of purple out of my Aether palette. And that's the look. So thanks for watching, and on to the next look. Hello everybody. Hey, I'm back with another look, and this time I took two of my favorite palettes and combined them together. And I hope you've been enjoying my little makeup look series. And this, of course, is for February, and we're getting close to Valentine's. So I just thought it'd be a great idea to put my Aether Beauty palette together with my Charlotte Tilbury. And these both have some great colors in it. And look at the look I got. I just really love it. I was able to get those kind of like the deeper hues of the purples that I can get out of this palette. So basically all I used was this and this in my outer corners and into my crease. And I did put a little bit of this purple on top as a base. And that is all I used. And you can tell I use this palette a lot. I really like the purple colors. But then I thought I'm going to go in and use the Charlotte Tilbury, which I did. And this is what this palette looks like. It's really pretty. And I only used three. I used three colors. I put that flat pink all over the lids of my eye. And then I put this shiny pink right here. It's kind of a pink purple. On the screen it looks more purple, but I put this one on all across. I put a little bit up top, but I mostly put this one on the tops. And then I covered it with that one and went all over. And it just made such a really nice look. And I think by using that flat colored pink, it set my whole eyes off with kind of a pink purpley background back there. And I just think it was really great. And I knew I was going to use purples and pinks. So I got out my Charmacy purple eyeliner. And this is a liquid eyeliner. And it's just, looks like that. I don't know if you can really tell. But I mean, it's a liquid liner. And I've got that going up to lift my eyes up. And I didn't use any corners. I felt like my eyes were bright enough with this. So, that's what I did. And I used my $1 Billion Brow, BBB Brow. And this is the universal color. And it's my favorite brow pencil. So I used that, of course, up there. And then my mascara today, I used PRIMELASH. And this is the one that has nutrients in it. It's their most popular, I think it's their most popular product on their website. The PRIMELASH has lots of nutrients in it, and it helps your lashes grow. And I really like it. A lot of times I'll use this. See how long? I'll use this as a base so that I get those nutrients, and then reapply even more longer because it helps your lashes grow too. Now, I do have a link down in the description. I'll put it down there, but you can save 15% with Miss Jackie Russell. Now, on my cheeks, I use Charlotte Tilbury, and I use both of these. And one is a blush, and one is like a blush highlighter, but you can use it for a blush. But I put this lighter color on first, and then I put this on top, because it has a little bit more of a shine and a little bit more pink color, and I really like that. And I use my Estee Lauder foundation as usual, and I did use my Estee Lauder contour palette, where I just go under my chin, above here for a little bit of color, and down my nose. And this is the Bronze Goddess palette. And I think it's just highlighter palette. I've never really, it's called Sunrise. So apparently you can get a couple different colors. I've got Sunrise. I've never told y'all that. I guess I never thought about it. And then on my lips, I have Estee Lauder lip liner, and it's double wear, and I'm thinking this is blush is the color. They call it blush. It matches my lips pretty good. And then I put on my Estee Lauder pink that I got out of one of my little free kits, and I love this color of pink. It's Pink Sunset, I think is what it says. Yeah, that's what it says, Pink Sunset. So I got that on, and then I topped it with the Buxom Dolly. Yep, that's my favorite plumper. So one of them, I have several, but I do like the Buxom a lot. And so that's what's on my face today. And I wasn't going to show y'all every single look that I do. Seems like I'm doing it though, but I just thought that was a great idea to put those purples, especially the deeper purples for my outer eyes that I like to do, and then top it off with some of her shiny here, and it just turned out real pretty. I really like both palettes. They're two of my favorites. So that's my look today. So let me know if you like it. I really thought it turned out pretty, and I really liked it. So you let me know if you liked it too. And now on to the next one. Hello everybody, I'm back, and I hope you're enjoying these different looks that I have. And today I have another Estee Lauder look on my eyes and Charlotte Tilbury pretty much on my face except for my foundation. And I'm going to show you what I have. I found one of my Estee Lauder palettes that I never used, and it is so pretty, and it was a special spring, I guess, celebrated type package that you could get. And I forgot to put this palette where I could find it, but it had this real pretty design, and everything in it was about flowers and spring. So on my eyes, I have this beautiful Estee Lauder palette, and I love those colors, don't you? And I have each and every color on my eyes. I have used the white and the light pink on the top and all over, like for a base. I have this darker, richer, I guess mauvey brown color in the corner of my eyes, coming in the outer corners, coming in, and then I also put some kind of halfway across there. And then I have this peachy color all over my eyes, and then I have this pink on top of that, and I have this purple in my crease, and I put some of that purple on my eyes. This is a beautiful palette. I wish I had not misplaced it for a couple of years. I mean, that's about how long it's been. So isn't that just beautiful? I just love it, and I'm so glad I found it, and the colors are just great. And Estee Lauder palettes and makeup seems to last forever. Now with that, I use an Estee Lauder brow, and this is the Now brow, and this was in brunette. And yeah, looking like I'm gonna have to sharpen that pretty soon. On my eyeliners, I use the burgundy, and that's this one right here. I love this. It's burgundy suede, and look at that color. And I don't know that you can get that anymore, because I usually get their liners when they come out. And this is one you still can get. This one, I've got the white on the insides to brighten my eyes. It really helps brighten. And of course I use the lighter color on the inside of my eyeshadow too to open up my eyes. I did not use the Noir that's on the end, but a lot of the new Estee Lauder eyeliner pencils are dual, and you can get two different colors. Okay, now on my mascara, I went with the Sumptuous Extreme mascara, and of course this has a great little wand on it, and it works fabulous. This is a travel size. I have, full size, but I decided to use the travel. And then I forgot to tell you that I do use Estee Lauder concealer, and I use a light color. This is the N2, I think. Yeah, 2N, light medium, because I like to brighten up my eyes. And then for my blush, I use the Charlotte Tilbury, And this is one of her new colors. It's the Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand. And I don't remember what color this is in. Pillow Talk Pink Pop. So that's what's on my cheeks. And then I used her bronzer palette. And this looks so dark, but it doesn't go on as dark as it looks, because I've got it underneath here. I've got it underneath here to shape my face, and I have it up here for a little bit of sun. And this is the palette, and you can tell I've just barely dipped into it. It doesn't take much. So I use that. This is kind of a matte, I don't know, it's not dry completely, so it's a little bit moist when it goes on. And then for my lips, I use the Charlotte Tilbury liner. This is the Pillow Talk Lip Cheat. I guess that's the color. I don't know, she always has kind of weird names for her colors of her stuff. And then I've got the Catwalking. That's what this is. This is my base, and I'm almost out, but her lipsticks are really good. And then I put on her liquid lipstick on top. Very good and very nice. Goes on. This stays like soft and smooth on your lips, even though it's a lipstick. It's kind of like it says it's airbrushed. And this color, and this is Pillow Talk Medium Blur is the color. Maybe I'll just put it on here so you can see. It's kind of a mauve pinky color. And then I also, when I was going through stuff, found that I had this lip plumper. I don't know if y'all remember this company, but it was iMethod, and this was the pink color. And this is a good plumper, and I like the color. And I don't even know if they're still in business or not, but I really did like this plumper. And then I finished it all off with a little bit of airbrush from Charlotte Tilbury. So that's my look today. What do you think? I like it. I really do. And I'm so happy that I found this palette and that I didn't, I had never used it, but I can tell y'all I'll use it again because I really love the look that it gave my eyes. Yeah, that's my cup of tea. You let me know what you think, and then we're going to move on to the next look. And today, just in case you want to know, it's February 6th. And that was my look for today. I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, this is my last one, and it's actually for February, but unfortunately I'm having to do my ending in March because, my son was sick and my brother-in-law, and they were in the hospital. But they're okay now. They're doing better. I mean, they're not completely well, but they are doing better, which is great news, and thank you for your prayers. But I wanted to show you my Jeffree Star look. That's what I've done for the last look. I hope you liked all the previous looks. I know I used a lot of Estee Lauder palettes, and I think I used a lot of my Charlotte Tilbury. But I was showing you some of my favorite looks, and I wanted to show you another look from Jeffree Star. I used his palette that I've covered up. I think it's called Orgy 2 or something. But I used this palette, and I used several of the colors. I had great fallout on this. I mean, I'm surprised that my makeup even looks good. It was almost black down to here on both sides. And it wasn't there after I finished my look, and then I turned around and there it was. Has that ever happened? How did it happen? I don't know. But I did use the palette, and I am liking the palette. And I started off with this color right here. Then I moved over to this color right here. And of course he has different names for those, glazed and I don't know, pegging or something. And then I did put a little of the gold on here and a little bit of this. And this is what's in the light part. Now, in the corners, I used this really dark color, and I think that's what was like falling out on my face. But I like that color, and that's what's in the corners to give me that dramatic or that cat look, or I don't know, some of you may call it the smoky look, but that's what I used. And then right in here for my crease, I used this brown. So, and I think I added a little bit of this. So that's kind of how I did. I kind of ping-ponged around the palette to get the look that I wanted. And of course my highlighter is a mixture of this and this. So, and I like the palette overall. I've been playing with it a little bit and doing different things. So I wanted to let y'all know. And let me get my cover back on there. So that's the Jeffree Star, and that's what's on my eyes today. And I did go with his lipstick, and I did go with his blush, and this is the blush that I received, and it's in Teddy Bear Snack, and it does a pretty good job. I like it. And I did use a new eyeliner, and I don't know where I got this. It's called Merlot or Mercy First Pen eyeliner, and it's in brown, so I decided to go with the brown. And then I used my MAC, and this here is, what is this color? It says it's a gel, but I can't read. The cream eyeliner, it's a crayon gel. It's made in Germany. Well, gee whiz, I don't know, but it's like a cream color, so I've got that on the insides and a little bit on my waterline. So I used those two. And I used the Big Sur mascara, which I forgot to bring in here, and that's by Lancome. So that's the mascara that I used. And then on my lips, I've got his lip pencil that matches that color of, I don't know what color you call this. He calls it Gardening and Mayhem. I guess that's a good way for it. And then I put this on, and this also is Jeffree Star. So it's mostly Jeffree Star today. This is Mannequin. I like this. It's really nice. Stays smooth all day. I use the BBB for my eyebrow. And then I use the Bronze Goddess Estee Lauder palette for my contour. And that's underneath up here and what have you. But anyway, that's my final look. And I just wanted to share it with you all today. Because I didn't have a finishing end to my February looks, and you're only going to see like the first half of February, because that's pretty much after that I wasn't doing much recording. So anyways, those are my looks. Let me know what your favorite is. Do you like this Jeffree Star? I had other people say they liked it. I had some not so like it. I had some say it looked like in the glamour time, you know, like in the 40s look. Maybe not with this particular look, I don't know. But anyway, I'm kind of getting used to it. I have been using the lipstick here and there, so it's just different. I'm not used to this darker color, but overall I like it. But anyway, you let me know what you think. Let me know which look of all the ones that I showed this month were your favorites. And if you have any questions, be sure and let me know down in the comments. And as for this makeup video with the different looks for February and a bonus here for March, so to speak, to end it up, that's all I have. Be sure and check my descriptions for any giveaways that are currently going on. And don't forget to use hashtag Jubilee in your comments on all my videos in order to enter into the weekly drawing giveaways and the monthly. If you want to enter into that drawing, you would need to share a video. Let me know where you shared it and when, and I'll put an entry into you up to 3 times. But as for today and this look and all the looks that I've shown you, that's all I have. And as usual, I wish you all a blessed and happy day. Bye-bye.